We're moving! We're moving! Yeah! We're moving!
It's been a weird last 3 months. We've kind of been out of the loop. We've kind of been on Instagram. Can you turn off the dog? That's just our golden doodle popcorn. Hush popcorn. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. It's probably been about, I think our last YouTube video was questions about Maverick's pregnancy. It's been a while, but we've got some fun family updates for you guys. Yeah, so there's been no announcement on YouTube, but we are expecting our 5th kiddo in August. And I was down and out the first trimester, like big time down and out. So there hasn't been a lot of content produced in all of January and February, some of December too. I kind of took a break after Christmas and then was sick in January and February. So it's been slow around here, but some things have still been shaken out during that time.
Transpired, a lot has transpired.
And the biggest thing that's transpired is
we're moving!
We are moving to the great state of Texas. Tejas, as they call it.
Can you do your southern accent real quick?
I don't even have a southern accent. So when I get back on here and I start talking like this, y'all are gonna love it.
What if you do change your voice when you go down there? You should just make that a thing.
I'm going to talk like this now. Yeah, kind of crazy.
Especially because we've just had a lot of our lives are a lot of transitions, and it just has continued. Like some people transition early on and then it slows down. Our transitions just keep on coming. Earlier, about maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I scheduled a trip to go to a gathering that I've been going to on and off. Me and Desiree have visited back and forth to College Station, Bryan, Texas area for the last 5 years. For the last maybe 5 or 6 years. I have a really close mentor of mine who, I don't even call him a mentor. He's a spiritual father in some ways. Ooh.
That's deep.
Spiritual father.
That's deep.
Who I met when I was in prep school. I've stayed in contact with him since then, but he lives now in that area that hosts these gatherings. They call them the Jesus Gathering. Pretty dope stuff. And we were down there 4 years ago. 4 years ago.
Yeah.
We wanted to be in that area. Really excited. We were actually looking for houses at that time to buy because we had not actually owned a house at that point. And so we're just looking for houses. Kind of, I don't know, did you felt called to that area? We were just kind of confused.
No, I think that we liked the idea of it. We felt like we could grow from them. There was just something that was like, okay, we probably need to move here. I wouldn't say we prayed about it a whole lot at the time. I wouldn't say oh, we feel called to this. I think we were down there because of his job, and we only had 2 kids at the time.
We had 3.
We had 2. We had Callie and Judah.
True.
So yeah, there was something happening at the time. We weren't being super prayerful about it, but we felt like there was something.
There's something drawing us there.
So what we did about that was we went back to St. Louis where we lived at the time. We sold most of our stuff. We hadn't found a house there, but we were like, okay, let's get ready to move. And then we did move to a house in St. Louis.
Yeah, we bought an 8-bedroom house in St. Louis, our first house. And then we just didn't think about College Station again for the next 2.5 years, or go, or visit, or talk to anyone down there. Just all right, that was a good idea.
Okay, thanks for that call, God. Bye. Yeah, so.
That's one way to listen to God's voice.
Anyway, so that was 4 years ago. So Jake has since been down there by himself. Last time he went, I was pregnant with one of the kids. Don't even know who. Maybe Hosanna.
Probably Hosanna.
And he went to the Jesus Gathering. It was it was so good. We have to go back when they do it again. And so they just had one a couple weeks ago that we all went to. We flew on a plane with our fam
Yeah.
of 6. That was
Insane.
horrendous. No, it's fine.
It's like one of those things where they've had a few of them since I went, and I just really felt like, and I don't know, like when you have multiple kids, you just have to be able to say like, we're doing this no matter what.
Yeah.
We're taking this trip. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go down there, and so like we just committed to just going. Like we need to get down there, and I really wanted our kids to just experience some of the things that were down there, and so yeah, it was super cool.
So then I was sick.
Yes.
And in bed, and Jake's doing everything. I'm not even coming out of my room some days. Just feel awful, and I was just like, I don't know if I can go. Like this is not good. I'm nauseous all the time. Like thinking about even being in an airport, thinking about being on a plane, like made me want to puke. So then I started feeling a little bit better, and I was like, okay, like maybe we can do this. And then I got COVID. It was just like never ending, like stuff just kept happening. So I got COVID. It was like, okay, like that's it. I'm not going. It was a week before I got it.
Yeah, I knew she was going. I knew she was going. I'm serious. Like there was a part of me that was like, I knew there was gonna be things that arose before it came, but I just in my heart I felt
and
like.
I think I knew that too, and I was like, I'm not going. I think that I was a little scared of what was going to happen when we got down there. And I was really hoping that the CDC was like, you keep your butt at home.
I know, like at some point I like did the research on the days and the CDC was fine with it. I was like, no, you're incorrect. I was like, no, I'm
look that up again.
I'm right.
Yeah. So by the time we flew, I felt
fine.
better.
She was
It was
clear
like a
to
really
fly.
hard like 3 days, and then I felt fine. So we were like all good. We got down there.
So throughout the weekend, I immediately, like right away was just like, man, we just need to be down here. But in knowing that, or like sensing that, I was just like, oh, there's a lot of moving parts for that to happen. But also was just sensing that, but I just kind of sat on it. Sometimes I have a tendency to be like premature and communicate that. And when you're married, sometimes you can do that, right? You like communicate something like, well, I think this is happening, and your spouse or significant other is already now thinking about that without just having the time to either process it through themselves or hear from the Lord themselves. I just really, most decisions we've made have been me hearing and Desiree hearing. Some have not been that way, but most have. And so just like learning how to give your spouse time to like process and hear from the Lord. It's like, boom. So we didn't talk about it at all, really until the flight home. And so on the flight home, I just told Desiree, like, this is what I'm sensing. What do you think? And did you cry?
Did I cry? Do you think I cried? Never.
That's not true.
No.
I've actually seen you cry multiple times. This week it's the most in our marriage. Desiree has cried like 3 times or twice in the last week, and I was like, how does it feel to be me? How does it feel? I mean,
yeah, I've cried a few times, but I didn't cry in the airport. I was just
what did I ask you? Yeah, what did I ask you? Do you remember? I forget.
We were either direct and saying like, do you feel like the Lord is telling us to move, or you said some version of that.
I said, I think that, or I said, like, do you feel like the Lord has said to move and you're like kind of unclear about that? Or do you feel like the Lord has said to move and it's just a hard thing to say yes to? And you said yes. Why are you doing that?
Ray Charles or something.
You cannot bust that.
He asked that question, and I was like, unfortunately, yes. Like, I feel like he's been pretty clear on that we should move down there.
And then from that moment, we're like, all right, let's move. Let's move. Like, if he said it, then we should do it. It's happened quickly. I mean, yeah.
So, I mean, this is pretty much real time. This wasn't like 3 months ago that this was being figured out and planned. Like, when y'all see this video, this is like happening now. We just got back not even 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. We've prayed through it, and we've just like continued to take steps forward and figure out how we're getting down there, when we're getting down there, what this looks like. Like, I'm due in August, and I know some of y'all are gonna be like, really? You're moving away from family right before you have a 5th kid? Like, that's cool. Like, that's really good. And that's been hard. Like that's not an easy thing to do. Not something that I would choose to do. Texas is not somewhere I would choose to go. I hate the heat. Like I'm about to be pregnant in Texas in the summer. Are you kidding me? Thanks God. But I think what he has in store for us over the next over the next season. I keep telling everyone that I was telling we were moving, like, oh, it's gonna be temporary, it's gonna be a year, less than a year, and that just sounds a little stupid because I don't know how long God is gonna have us there, and for me to put a timeline on it is stupid. So yeah. We're going down there this next season. I think it'll be really fruitful. I think it'll be really hard. Like, we are just going to be obedient and keep taking steps in faith and figure this out. And I know he has good things for us, and we're gonna grow from being down there. I know a question that we would get is like, why are you going down? Like, what's the purpose? Yeah. Because even when we've explained to family, the question was still like, even after all that, even when I've explained to friends, people are still like, but why? Like, yeah. What's coming out of it? What are you getting out of it? What's the point? Like, yeah, I don't know. For me, like, because I've had a few, and I feel like I have to defend it, and I don't know how else to say it other than just like, there's a call there. Like, there's a desire to be there. I think it's a season of stepping out of our normal rhythms into a more intentionally focused community, and not stepping in, because not that the season we're in right now isn't intentional, but stepping into a season of just being more intentional in our faith and growth. Yeah, being discipled. So just, I think that's the driver, but ultimately, like, there's just sometimes when God calls you into things, you can't really explain it, and you don't have to. It's like, okay, great. Here's what I think. Here's what we believe God is calling us to do. We could be wrong. Okay, obviously you can be wrong or right in some of those things, but that's the only reason that we need to give there. I mean, we could try to explain it all away, but if you try to explain those type of things away, it doesn't make sense on the surface. And we don't have a plan. We're not like, we're gonna go here for 6 months, we're gonna do this, we're gonna learn this, and then we're gonna come back here and do this. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's just more of a... It's just not the case. We're gonna go, we're gonna be discipled, we're gonna grow in our faith, we're gonna... Serve, we're gonna do community a different way. We're gonna get served. You know what I'm saying? Just kidding. Like, yeah, I like the sound of that. Take these kids. Like, can we get some babysitters? And a question I know so many people will have is like, do you already have a house down there? We do not. And we're planning on leaving in April. We don't have a house yet. We're figuring that out. We're planning on renting month to month, so we just have somewhere to land while we look for a house down there. If that works out, yeah. If that works out, we found a Facebook Marketplace listing that is fairly flexible, and so we're hoping that works out. There is a lot to figure out, housing down there, what we're gonna do with this house. We kind of bounce back and forth of if we were gonna do a long-term rental or a short-term rental with this place. And I'm not announcing it like that. It's gonna be an Airbnb! So we're turning this place into an Airbnb, which is super fun. And the reason we're doing a short-term rental is because if we need to come back, which we will, we just need a place to be able to land and also bless like others. Like, our family comes here a lot, so yeah, just having that opportunity to do that. So we kind of warfare back and forth, and literally, like, by the day we're like, long-term rental, short-term, long-term. Yeah. And finally Desiree one day was just texting me and she said, let's do the Airbnb, let's try it. And I was like, okay, let's try it. So we've never done it before. We're excited. There's a lot to do, and we're gonna do more. Like, it's probably too much that we're doing, but we want to like make it a cool spot for somebody else. So there's a lot to be done. Yeah. So we are excited to take y'all along with that process, turning this into an Airbnb. So that's really exciting. I've enjoyed that over the last few days, kind of, because I'm just swiping that credit card. Doing another bathroom. We got, I mean, so even that, we got to do some landscaping. We've got to do some larger projects in that time as well. So there's just a lot of work that has to be done. A lot to do. Yeah. Top of like packing our lives up and our moving across. Yeah, we haven't figured that out either. The country, like what we're gonna bring, how we're gonna pack this house up. Yeah, it'll be good. Yeah, a lot of moving parts.
So that's the update, guys. We're hoping you guys let us know in the comments or whatever on here. Like, we're hoping to do one of these a month with different taglines, you know, like, and then like do one of the faces that goes like this, like, like on the front video, they call that a thumbnail. So let's just practice real quick.
We're not doing that, but definitely subscribe and make sure you're following along because we are going to like take you through the Airbnb stuff. The different rooms are pretty much all getting redecorated. Would love to like share. I know a lot of people are interested in starting up an Airbnb. Would love to do a video on like things we did to start it up.
Yeah, yeah, because we're still in the
Facebook
process
groups
now.
we join that are helpful, like all the things.
Yeah.
Follow along. I am on Instagram, obviously here. I'm also on TikTok, Desiree at Home under all of those. Instagram stories is where you can find me live in action. If you want to come hang out over there.
Awesome. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.